Well, hi everyone. We're back, and what we want to do is continue our talk on being dairy-free. And so today I'm going to make almond milk, so we can replace the usual milk in whatever we're doing to put on top of our breakfasts or cereals, to put into baked dishes or wherever you're using milk, and you want to use a non-dairy alternative. I'm also going to actually extend the milk that I make today into both a chia pudding and a rice pudding, so you're getting a whole lot. But before we go into making it, let's just take a look at why do we want to be dairy-free? Why do we want to avoid milk? Well, there's a couple of reasons. One is that milk, as all dairy products are, is inflammatory. So when we inflame the body, it has to use its energy to try and create balance, and it doesn't do a real good job of it. It's just not able to contain it. And so inflammation is a big part of most all of the chronic conditions that are so plaguing North America and basically the developed countries in the world today. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, heart conditions, diabetes, all of these things have been shown to diminish or be completely eliminated and reversed when we stay away from dairy and animal products. So that's why we encourage, well, people to do it, but that's why I got into it. I had so much arthritic pain that after playing in a volleyball tournament, I would have to hold both handrails to go downstairs to the bathroom the next morning. I'd have to lift this arm. This was my spiking arm. I'd have to lift this out of bed in the morning. There was so much pain in my shoulder. And Connie encouraged me to give up dairy. And when I did, just in a matter of weeks, it was like 60% gone. And it continued to improve, and I haven't had any pain since. And this was 35 years ago. So I've really experienced the impact that dairy was having on my body and its inability to deal with inflammation or whatever it was that was the link. So let's get on with it. And so what I'm going to do is make 4 cups of almond milk. So I have 3 cups of water in here. I'm going to add 1 cup of almonds and just whir it up. It's that simple. I do it in a Vitamix, really high power, and up we go. That was 30 seconds. It is fine enough for me. Some people like it a little finer. They may leave it on a little longer. But this certainly does it for me. And the way I use it is usually in a baked dish, like the rice pudding we're going to make or the chia pudding. And I kind of don't mind. I certainly don't notice that there's still tiny, tiny little chunks of almonds. Now, when we buy commercial almond milk, all of the bulk, the mass, has been filtered out. So what you're getting is like the water with some of the pulp, but most of the pulp has been squeezed out. I use the whole thing. I like the whole fat version of almond milk. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take 2 cups out. I've made 4 cups. I need 2 cups for each recipe. So I'm going to take 2 cups out, set it aside, and now I'm going to make my chia pudding. The chia pudding, yum. The chia pudding is really simple. It's just 2 cups of almond milk, and then I add a quarter of a teaspoon of cinnamon. I like the flavor of cinnamon in my chia pudding. And I sweeten it with a tablespoon of of maple syrup. Tablespoon.
And maple syrup also is non-inflammatory. That's one of the few sweeteners that is.
Which is nice. And I like stevia. It's a 0-calorie, anti-inflammatory. My favorite is this vanilla cream by Sweet Drops. And I put 1 dropper full of that liquid stevia in. Then I add my chia. This is a 1/4 cup of chia seeds. They seem to have like an static electricity. They stick to things. So I get all those chia seeds out. And I just whir it up lightly. I just want to mix it. I'm going to use the Vitamix now just to mix everything through. That's all I need. That's like stirring it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to this every 30, 45 seconds and stir it again. Otherwise that chia can get kind of clumpy. Okay, while I'm letting that set, I'm going to come over to my rice pudding. And what I have here is 3 cups of a combination of brown rice and oat groats. And what I like is this combination. Now, you can do straight rice, or you can do straight oat groats, you can do the mix. What I prefer is kind of the mix in between. So I'm going to put my 2 cups of almond milk into the rice and turn it on, and I'm going to want to bring this to a boil. There we go. And this uses a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. It also has 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. I'm going to put that in now. 2 tablespoons. There we go. Let's get all that out of there. There we are. Okay. And then I want this 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Come on. There we go. 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And again, I add a dropper full of the vanilla stevia to this. There's my sweeteners. There's my cinnamon. And I add a 1/2 cup of raisins. And this reminds me of my mother's rice pudding. Only better. Because she used the white rice. She used milk. I don't know, some of the original rice pudding recipes had eggs. I know I used to really like it, but I know what I would feel like now if I ate that recipe instead of this one. So this one is the whole food plant-based version of rice pudding. And this is a stovetop version. My mother always used to bake it. I really like this because it's so quick and easy. I'm going to start this up again so we don't get clumps. There we go. Now I want to bring this to a boil. That should do it. And we'll be there in a minute. So that it gets a little bit thick. And then I'm just going to put it in a baking dish and let it cool, and it's ready to go. So, the chia pudding, now we've got 2 cups in there with the chia. That makes 2 servings. And what I like to do, you can have it just plain, but I also like to add a fruit in with it. So I'm going to put some raspberries in with it. Okay, that's looking like it's ready for the raspberries. This is almost boiling now, which is good. So, the chia is starting to thicken up. That's exactly what we want. So I'll just pour it evenly between these 2 servings. See how it's thick? Can you see that? This might be in the way. It's thick and clumpy. This is what I like. It has kind of a tapioca texture, which I like. Not everybody likes that. So if you haven't had chia pudding together before, give it a try. See what you think. I think it's absolutely fabulous. And then I'm going to put these frozen raspberries between the two of them. And then these will go in the fridge. And they're just fabulous snack or have them for breakfast.
I hear your rice pudding boil.
Yep.
Okay.
It's ready to go. We'll get right over to that. There's my chia pudding with raspberries. So that's done. We've got our rice pudding boiling. And so I'm just going to put this in a baking dish and let it thicken up.
Do you need to put it in a baking dish, Bill?
Well, just any container you want to put it in. It doesn't have to be a baking dish.
Sure.
It doesn't have to be something that would go into the oven, because we're not going to put it in the oven. It's just something that I like the size of it, and it holds it well. So there we have it. So, enjoy.
Yeah, and just as a summary of the benefits of being dairy-free, we can lower cholesterol, lower high blood pressure. We can especially lower our weight, because dairy is one of the greatest contributors to obesity in North America. And we feed our microbiome with these whole food, plant-based nutrients. So, give it a try. And you can use this almond milk on your cereal in the morning, or whatever you use cow's milk for. And notice when you eat it, how your body feels. What's your body really saying about this food that you're giving it?
Very good. Enjoy, and we'll see you next week.